Bonjour, belle zetwal mwen. Hello, my beautiful stars. My name is Zell. Over here, we do readings after dark because stars shine brightest in the night. I kind of forgot my intro. I don't really remember how it goes. I don't remember what I said on my first videos versus what I say now. I don't know if it's the same, but it's just gonna be whatever it ends up being in each video. Um, when I was just like meditating and preparing to film this, Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron were coming through. I don't really know much of either, um, but maybe studying or learning about the archangels could be significant, or maybe you're connected to those specific archangels and you have a relationship with them, but they were coming through for some reason, so that could be significant. Today's message is about releasing the fear of change. Releasing the fear of change. I don't know anything deeper than that, but we're going to get into the cards straight away and just see what comes out regarding that message. So, os anjos são sete maior equipe especial mwen tan pe souple kide mwen pandan fè reading sa. Edem pou mka tune in with the collective, pou mka an vaisseau pou komunike exactement sa kolektif sa bezwen tande tan pe souple. Okay. Archangel Michael, protect the space. So the first card, Ten of Cups. This is ultimate fulfillment. This is ultimate fulfillment. This is, healthy, happy relationships. This is being fulfilled emotionally, being abundant. It's like having everything you need and more, essentially. Love. Let's see what this has to do with releasing your fear of change. Ooh. We got the Queen of Cups. This is also talking about emotions, deep emotions. But I think I'm going to pull a couple. I'm going to pull a couple more cards before I try to explain what I'm feeling, because I feel like I need to see the full story unfold. So let's pull 3 more cards. Ooh, the Devil in reverse. I love that. Ooh, beautiful. 3 of Wands. Did I say 3 or 4 more cards? We're gonna do 4. Wow. What the hell? These are beautiful cards. These are beautiful cards. Wow. I'm like tempted to just leave it at that for now, but we're gonna do 1 more because I said 4. Okay. 1 more, Spirit. Okay. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. These are really beautiful cards, if I do say so myself. Just gonna move these up here. Okay. So, wow. The fear of releasing the fear of change. I don't know, with the Lovers coming out, I'm like, and the Ten of Cups, because I see the Ten of Cups as a very romantic card, if I do say so myself. It's one of my favorite cards. But there feel like there's a bit of a love theme. I don't know if it's necessarily romantic love, but hmm, speak clearly with me, Spirit. Something about freeing yourself from the fear of change. Hmm. Maybe there's, wow. So I'm thinking about it in a very romantic sense or just a love sense. But like, there's either this is being asked of you or this is something you're doing in the season of your life, but maybe you're not, or in your past, love was like not a beautiful thing, or I guess what you were taught love was, or what you were told love was. That could be relationships, that could be family, you know, people that said, I love you, but it was just a word, and there was no evidence to really prove that that love was true. It was just words, and then those people would treat you, you know, terribly. But as long as they say they love you, well, they love you, you know? And I was saying that I'm shuffling, and it's 10 of Wands in reverse. That's really beautiful, y'all. This is really beautiful. You're freeing yourself from a burden. You're freeing yourself from a chain of your relationship with love, your relationship with feeling, feeling deeply, because love and emotions, I feel like they kind of work together. I wouldn't say they're the same thing. Emotions are, you know, flowing and ever changing. Love is, I guess, constant. Um, but being open to love, you're being open to love, or you're being asked to be open to love in this season. And with the 3 of Wands, this is why I'm like, I think you're already doing this because you're walking away from the past and into a new light, into a new day, into a new perspective. And you're letting go of the old narrative of what love was. You're freeing yourself from that lie, from that manipulation. You're freeing yourself from the manipulators who told you that they loved you, but they were just manipulators. You're not carrying that burden anymore, and you're not robbing yourself of love either, or of your emotions. You're not robbing yourself of your emotions or of deep feeling because that's what people tried to tell you love was. No, you're letting go of that narrative, like I said, and you're walking on to this new perspective of what love is, which it's a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing, and ultimate fulfillment. This is what you find on this road, on releasing, letting go of this old narrative. And the topic is letting go of your fear of change. So it's like, this is a very, I guess I would say, uncomfortable thing, because it feels like the way you've experienced love, or what people called love, tainted your view of love, and it almost built do I put this? It almost played part in your identity. You know, the way you receive, the way you feel, the way you know, it's like you've closed yourself to anything regarding the heart, or a lot of things regarding the heart. Confirmation verb. Because of the manipulation that was done to you and that people called love. But it's like, ooh. I flipped 2 cards, but I think I'm just gonna do 1 card at a time. But they were beautiful cards. They were the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit in reverse. But if they want to come out, they'll come out. Just 1 card, please. Yeah, let's get some more insight. This is cool. I don't think I've ever done a reading like this. Ooh. 9 of Swords in reverse. Beautiful. You're definitely freeing yourself. You're definitely freeing yourself. Freeing yourself of the voices that say that you aren't worthy of love, or that love isn't a real thing to be experienced. You are deserving of love, and you deserve to know what it feels like to be loved and to be cared for truly, not someone trying to use you, not someone trying to manipulate you. No, someone just loving you for who you are and you loving them back. A mutual 2 of Cups relationship, and that doesn't mean romantic, just whoever the love is being shared with. Let's see what else. What insight does this collective need to know? That came out sideways. We don't take sideways over here. What insight does this collective need to know? Please clear les anges dans cette moi parler clairement avec moi tant plus s'il vous plaît. Insight. Yeah. The Hanged Man in reverse. Let's see. Negative patterns. I think that's one of the like meanings of the Hangman in reverse. Negative patterns, destructive self-righteousness, materialism, selfishness, trying to force outcomes. Yeah, negative patterns. It's like you're freeing yourself from the negative patterns of, I say love, but it's air quote love. Freeing yourself from those patterns that the people you entertained in your life. Freeing yourself of choosing people with those patterns. It's like all the different people in your life, in your past, who you thought loved you. It was kind of like a pattern. Ooh. Maybe you're finally letting go. You're choosing to close out that cycle because you know that you understand now that you'd rather have no one around you than fake people around you. You'd rather have no one around you than people claiming to love you, but you know it's not true. And it's like, maybe there was this pattern of you, you know, just going to people or finding people and bonding in a way that was more of, how do I say it? It was more of, the word escapism is coming to my head, but yeah, it was more of like feeling like you need to be loved, but in that desperation, you just looked for it in anyone. And even if those people didn't have those qualities, you just put up with it because you were like, well, this is what love is. This is, I mean, everyone that says they love me, this is how they treat me anyways. Like shit. So I mean, I'm just gonna put up with this. But it's like you're letting go of those negative patterns that you once, entertained. You're like, no, I'm done with this because I deserve true love. I deserve true fulfillment. I deserve true pouring into someone's cup and them pouring back into mine. Not just being scorched dry and pouring, into someone's cup without them pouring back, That's not love. Knight of Wands, upright. How many more, Spirit? We're gonna do 3 more. Knight of Wands, upright. I'm just gonna push these a little forward because we are getting out of frame here. Trust the process. We're figuring out. I'm figuring out what my style is for readings. Maybe you could be figuring out a new style. Maybe this, this season of like finally being like, you know what? I'm not gonna entertain fake shit that's calling itself love. I deserve actual love. Maybe that's also like choosing yourself too. Maybe someone watching this wants to like, kind of have a little makeover moment. Like maybe you want to get a haircut. Maybe you want to dye your hair. Maybe you want to, get a new wardrobe or, kind of just like externalize this new identity, which is not a new identity, but the shift of identity within yourself. It's like, you know what? This is a season that I know I'm deserving of love. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to start, I don't know, getting my nails done or maybe doing my nails at home or like, I'm going to start wearing a different hairstyle. Just like, maybe you're like, yeah, trying out new things that feel like, that make you feel loved by your own self. So yeah, let's see. 3 more cards. 3 more cards, Spirit, to wrap this up. That came out kind of sideways, so we don't do sideways. If it wants to come out, let it come out clearly. Thank you. Okay. 5 of Swords. Okay. I'm gonna put these up here. 2 more. Be clear with the Spirit. Parlez clairement, s'il vous plaît. Ace of Wands in reverse. This is kind of like a resistant energy. Interesting. Well, it was about releasing your fear of change. And 6 of Cups, upright. So let's see. I'm gonna read the meanings in the book, but then I'll see what I'm picking up. The Knight of Wands indicates a good time to travel or embark on something new. If the Knight of Wands appears in your reading, it's the perfect time to start that project you've been planning to do. Try not to be too impetuous, as you must keep a realistic perspective on your ideas and tasks. Don't be too hasty now in your decisions, or you will have to sort things out later. Freedom of spirit, adventure, impulsiveness, hasty decisions. And then the 5 of Swords the 5 of Swords winning. Interesting. Well, if you were wondering, are you gonna win or not? Yes, you're gonna win. That's confirmation. So the 5 of Swords is about it's not always about winning the fight. It's about your peace. What brings you peace. And I'm honestly feel a little resistance to saying that because I'm like, it makes makes me think of the phrase just keep the peace, which I absolutely hate because I don't know. I'm like, just keep the peace. Nah, I'm gonna be honest about how I feel. But I think this is more like not about dealing with bullshit to just keep the peace, but like to genuinely not extend your energy towards things that, you know, disrupt your nervous system, dysregulate your nervous system, disrupt you, you know, just being like, this is not even my problem, you know, this is not even my problem. I'm not gonna focus any energy on it. Like, what I want is peace. So, yeah. Let's see what the Ace of Wands is. In reverse, lack of energy delays hesitancy. Hesitancy. Adventure, impulsiveness, hasty decisions. How does hesitancy and hasty decisions or impulsiveness coexist? Okay. And then something about nostalgia, giving back to your younger self, your inner child. Something about your inner child. Interesting, guys. I'm just like 2 to 2 on the time. There's something about choosing yourself and doing it for your inner child. Les anges sont cinq moyens occupés spirituellement. Tant que vous plaît, parlez avec moi clairement. Doing it for your inner child. Whatever it is, loving yourself for your inner child because she deserves to be loved, or he deserves to be loved. They deserve to be loved. Doing it, you know, like I was talking about. Maybe you want to get a haircut. Maybe you want to get a tattoo or something. Maybe it's something your younger self always wanted and you've always hesitated on. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this because it would just seem like out of character for you, you know? But, interesting. Yeah, you were hesitant towards doing. We're hesitant towards choosing you because the people that claim to love you judged you for it, treated you like, oh, you're crazy or you're weird because of when any mention of you choosing yourself, but it's because those people had not chosen themselves and, you know, they couldn't comprehend what someone choosing themselves looked like, so they had to say, oh, well, that's lame, that's cringe, or what do you mean, what is that, don't do that, that's weird, or they'd get uncomfortable by it because they're not used to choosing themselves. So somebody choosing themselves makes them uncomfortable, so they're like, let me make this person feel bad about choosing themselves because I don't understand it, and I even if they did understand it, they would never choose to do that for themselves because they choose to live in their fear. So they try to downplay you for that. But like I said, you walked away from that. So that's no longer your reality. That's no longer your story. You get to choose you. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what anybody has to say about it. Someone trying to pick an argument with you about why it's weird, why it's this, why it's wrong, why it's, you know, maybe in the past you felt like you had to convince others of, you know, why you're choosing yourself, or like give a reasoning as to why you're choosing yourself or why it's okay. But with this being here, it's like, you, this is your season to choose yourself, to choose love, and you don't owe nobody a fucking explanation. You do not owe anybody a fucking explanation. Just do your thing. This is about your peace. This is about healing your inner child, giving back to your inner child, you know, the childhood she deserved. You know, you can't go back to the past and change what happened. You can cry over spilt milk, but like, well, that feels kind of insensitive to say it that way. Because from someone who comes from a very traumatic childhood, it's not just spilt milk, but you know, you can't change the past, but you can choose yourself and give to your inner child by living for you and opening up your heart to all the beauties of the world, even though you have experienced some of the ugly sides of the world. But in this world, there is balance. There's yin, there's yang. So, like, if you've experienced the ugly of the world, there is beautiful things that you deserve to experience and that are there for you to experience. So, yeah, maybe you felt hesitant before for choosing yourself because you felt like you always needed an explanation or you always needed to prove why it's okay to choose yourself. But it's like, you don't have to prove anyone. You don't, if somebody is trying to argue with you about you choosing yourself, they need to go do their own personal inner work. That's not your problem. That's not your job. Don't pay it no mind. Like, they're on their own journey. That's literally not your problem. That is not your problem. It's like, you're on your journey. So just do your thing. Keep flying on your little dragonfly or whatever that is. And choose you. Be on your journey. You don't gotta focus on nobody else's journey. And anybody that's trying to focus and nitpick on yours, they don't have a say in your life. This is between you and your inner child. This is between you and the universe. Like, I was gonna say this is between you and God, but as y'all know here, we use God. I'm not Christian. I use God as the term. The universe, it's just another word for the universe for me. Source, yeah, whatever name you use, it's between you and that. I'm like, let me just see the Knight of Wands one more time. I've checked this like a few times. Freedom of spirit, adventure, impulsiveness, hasty decisions. Yeah. Having a free spirit, freeing your spirit. Yeah, freeing yourself of the fear of change. Freeing yourself of the fear of change. Freeing your spirit. And just finally choosing you. Choosing love, choosing you. I think that's the message, y'all. I think that is it. Yeah. If this resonated with you, leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe if you feel called to. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope, my beautiful zetwals, I hope you all have a beautiful night, day, afternoon, whatever time it is. I hope it's a beautiful one for you all. That is all. Good night.